that's the messaging that goes on in our head. Like, there is no hope. There
Yeah.
is no way out. So
Yes.
I better just continue doing this because there is no other option.
There
And
is no,
that's the
that's right.
biggest freaking lie ever. And it
Mm-hmm.
makes me emotional. It's like
Mm-hmm.
people are losing their lives like this.
Welcome back to Deep Roots Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Thompson, and my guest today is Jessica Summers. What I appreciate about her perspective is the reminder that we can have honest, meaningful conversations without pushing past the edge or losing connection along the way. It's about connection, listening, being curious during conversations, and remembering that there's a human on the other side. So let's get started. So, Jessica, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Um, I want to start by, well, I want to start with your story. What life experiences most influence how you view people and humanity?
Ooh-wee. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is, I think, an ever evolving, answer. It's, which I guess is a good thing, right? It's like I'm not too
Mm-hmm.
stuck on, what I think I know or my opinions or, but to answer your question of how a lot of this, started, I guess the work to even like talk about these things started from a pretty negative experience. I was living the life that I had, grown up to believe, that I was married with children, I was a fashion designer, I owned and operated a boutique, and I was living the life, checking the boxes, doing the stuff, going to the places, right?
Yes.
So I was successful. I mattered, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
the, again, what I had been taught to believe. And, there were definite, this is in retrospect now, there were definitely times where there was something inside that was like, I'm not too sure what's happening, these
Yes.
feelings. And, but I didn't question.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had it was my second pregnancy. So complications my third trimester, and they ended up having to induce. They had to resuscitate her. They left placenta behind, and it was just one infection after another, and
Oh, wow.
medication reactions, and ruptured ovarian cysts, and hiatal hernia, and I mean, it was literally months turned into years of
Oh,
like the
wow.
revolving in one door and out the next,
Mm-hmm.
and to specialists, and when you look okay on the outside, it's what are you complaining about?
Yes. There's nothing wrong with
And
you.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I really started to internalize that because,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the part that kind of threw me for a loop, is there were times where I would go and have a diagnosis, and
Mm-hmm.
or they would give me pain pills. So if it, there's something substantial, I guess, from the doctor, then I guess I'm okay because I being told,
Yes.
right. And then,
Yes.
but then I would, which I didn't know, I was having like medication reactions,
Mm-hmm.
and or again in retrospect having withdrawals from the pain meds, and a
Mm.
lot of the symptoms were the same as before I even started the pain pills, but when they left placenta, there's so many, I
Yeah.
don't know up from down anymore. I've never been addicted. I don't
Yeah.
know any of these feelings. I don't know this pain. I don't know any of this.
Mm-hmm.
And my old learned belief system is saying, do A, B, and C, or what's your problem? And that's
Yes.
that's kind of the consensus. It's like, this is the environment, it's the
Yeah.
community, this is how the masses think and believe. And you know if I said anything to family and friends, it was, well, what did your doctor say? And it's like, well, this is what I'm trying to tell you is when I go to the doctor, this is what happens and I
Yes.
feel worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it is in, astonishing, really, to witness
Yeah.
the program
Mm-hmm.
that no one, no one could hear what I was saying because the labels had been given,
Yeah.
right? Especially the addiction. Oh boy, forget about it.
Yes.
You have no credibility. You can't even advocate for yourself. Like what you have to say doesn't even matter because you must be crazy. You must be go down the list of things, which is wild just to watch it. But again,
Mm-hmm.
this conditioned, learned way of thinking, believing, acting, like until you have that awareness, I'll argue this until my last day. You're running off a program. And
Yes.
you can say all day long who you think you are, but until you have that awareness, you're just like everybody else doing the same old thing, complaining about the same old thing,
Yes.
thinking, um, acting, all of it, So I think that kind of maybe starts to answer a little bit of the question, but it got me, on this. I know I'm going to get through this, and when I do, I'm going to start to unravel it and understand
Mm-hmm.
this more because when you're in it, I got to a point where I couldn't understand that I didn't understand. There were
Yeah.
so many
Mm.
situations where it's like, I know I should have the answers to this. Why am I completely just so lost, so just fumbling around? I don't even understand my own
Yes.
existence
Yes.
or
Mm-hmm.
why I'm behaving the way that I am. And that is something I really want to say again, especially people that are dealing with like addiction and have never been
Yeah.
addicted. That's what addiction is. It's you no longer have the choice of it until you get the help for it. Just
Hmm.
like white knuckling it and being cool, like some people can, but
Yeah.
there's a lot to it. It's not so black and white. And I think the biggest lie, misconception of this like moral thing behind addiction is
Yeah.
exactly what leads people to not getting the help that they need, you know?
Uh, oh,
Um,
absolutely. Because you said
the,
it earlier. The label's there.
yeah,
I mean, and societal standards, like the label's there. There's no credibility, like you said. And so instead of attempting to get to the root of the problem and finding out what the problem really is, it's just we label and we wash our hands from it.
yeah,
And that is so heartbreaking. And um, I don't, I mean, I say this often. No one wakes up and decides that they want to be an addict. That is
right,
not like
right,
that there is something there.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, that is a whole, ugh, it's so apparent, like just the stigma, and it's
Mm.
so ugly. And it's
Mm-hmm.
based off, I mean, really like Neanderthal type of thinking. It's like,
Yes.
we have to do better here. I mean, especially with mental health and addiction,
Yes.
the way it is just running rampant in this world. It's like, and we're still thinking that we've got it all figured out. We're still treating
Yeah.
people the same way. It's like, uh, as advanced as we think we are, you know, it's we're missing a lot there. And
Yeah.
I really got to see it just played out right in front of
Mm.
me, where I it was really I know now that all of that was my path. It
Yeah.
was for me to see,
Yes.
because there were so many, I mean, women that I know that have or knew, with children around the same ages as mine, that are no
Mm-hmm.
longer here,
Yeah.
right? And one in particular too, like, she was a nurse, right? She was a in fact, when I had met her in a treatment center, she was actually there helping other, like, it was just in her being, you know what I mean?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And there were reasons to why she got caught up in addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, when you think about that, it's like we cut people off without even knowing
Yeah.
who they are, their character, their who they are. It happens to
Yeah.
anybody, anytime, anywhere, and it does
Yes.
all the time. It's happening like this. It's
Yes.
not those people over there in that neighborhood doing those bad things. That doesn't
Yeah.
even exist.
No.
But
The
that
assumption that we
mentality,
think we know who somebody is. Yeah.
oh, I mean, I could go on and on. I remember, this just popped up in my head. I remember speaking at a church and
Mm-hmm.
watching, ooh, one of the I can't remember what his role was, but he worked there. It was a Christian school and
Mm-hmm.
church. He rolled his eyes at me when I was
Mm.
telling, parts of my story, and the problem of, stigma, and, and just kind of explaining it a little bit.
Right.
And, I seriously, I think I've become like some Zen master, because the old me, probably would like flipped out, just because it was
Yes.
so ugly, but it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing any better by,
Yeah.
wanting to be violent about it. But it was a prime example, right,
Mm-hmm.
of all of the things that we complain about, that we don't like, but we go
Yeah.
at it in an even uglier way than what
Yes.
we're complaining about. It's like, you're
Mm-hmm.
creating more.
Yeah.
You're making this situation worse. Like I was saying earlier, like, my mission, my, peace being the new power,
Mm-hmm.
because that old way, that ugliness, that I'm above you, I have the
Yeah.
power, so I'm going to belittle you, I'm going to hold you down, right? That it's either that way, the old systems,
Yeah.
or a new way where we have some love and compassion, and we hear why. We ask
Yes.
questions. We don't automatically assume, right? I mean,
What?
it feels like it should be common sense, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And what's so interesting, and I believe you bring this up, is that many people consider like peace when you take this route, right? Um, and compassion, they look at that as weakness,
Yeah,
and it's the very opposite.
yeah,
It takes more strength and control to
yes,
be truly compassionate. And one thing that I've learned on this journey is that I'm able to have compassion for those people. Now, I'm not going to say that certain personalities or reactions don't trigger me inside, because I don't
yeah,
like when people are not nice to other people.
yeah,
but
yeah,
um but it's programming and conditioning
yeah,
with them, right?
yeah,
And I
yeah,
was there once.
yeah,
And just the empowerment that we have when we're able to look at situations like that, like you being vulnerable and sharing your story. And that's what we need more of. We need people to feel, now granted, our society tells you not to be vulnerable. And I would almost say that anything society tells you to do, just do the opposite and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
But, that vulnerability is such a beautiful thing to see when people are able to do that, and the people that we can help in those
Yeah.
situations, because how many people are like Jessica, not many people come out of experiences in life like that you have experienced and come out of it on the other side the way you have. And I think that is absolutely fascinating and incredible and beautiful. And I can see it. Your purpose is to help people on this side because you've lived it. You've been there. You've been in the trenches. And most people stay so, and we're not broken, so that's not what I'm saying, but
Right.
they feel like they are so broken and they are held down by judgment and
Mm.
labels. It's
Yeah.
not even a thing, right?
Yeah.
And society, and they just internalize that. So society tells them you're not worth anything or you're this, and that's what they feel and believe. And I love the fact that you have come out on the other side, because we need you. We need more of you to be able to help people come out of the trenches and
Yeah.
say, I'm not broken and I'm okay and I have a purpose. And I love that. And just, you're amazing.
That's something that I want to share too. Like, don't think that I didn't struggle with, I mean, I used to shake there when
Mm.
so when I had my break and I institutionalized, nobody
Mm-hmm.
will hear me. So
Yeah.
I'm getting over medicated, misdiagnosed. It was a nightmare. I mean, there were
Mm-hmm.
times that I had to slap myself in the face and look in the
Mm.
mirror to remind myself of who I was, and that I got
Oh, wow.
myself in there and I was going to get myself out.
Yeah.
And when I got out, I schlepped a bag around with me. My family and friends called me bag lady because I had a bag that had all my medical
Wow.
records in it because I could not remember who I was. I was
Mm.
trying to make sense of everything. And one of the nurses there, she had taken the little flashcards, the colored ones.
Yeah.
She had made like little dresses because at that time I was a fashion designer. She had cut
Mm.
out little dresses, and on
Mm-hmm.
one side was the medication, and on the other side was possible side effects. And she had circled things on like what to watch out for.
Right.
And I mean, there was so much in this bag, that was
Mm.
like that I would eventually put together
Yeah.
because nothing made sense, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's still running off their program. If the doctor is saying this, if my husband is saying this, if all these people are saying
Yes.
it, and I'm only one person, who's going to listen to me?
That's right. And it
Nobody.
must be true since everybody
It,
else sees the same thing and says the same thing. It
exactly.
must be true. That's right.
And that's where, in that, I said, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. I know one day I'm going to have my voice back because
Yeah.
I see it. People are losing family members
Yes.
themselves because of exactly this.
Yeah.
And when you get kicked hard enough, long enough, forget about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that struggle because it took me years and years and years to get back on my feet.
I've said this for years, even before like I truly understood things the way I understand them now, and I'm still learning like daily, right? And I want to continue.
Yeah.
Um, but people that okay, so addiction, people go to treatment or they get help, but I often find that many people relapse. And this is my theory,
Mm.
is because they are in systems that they are still controlled by shame, fear, and guilt.
Yeah.
And so you stay the lowest vibration, lowest frequency that you can be on, right? Of
Yes.
course they're going to go back because they're on that hamster wheel. You can't heal until you raise your vibration, raise your frequency above that fear, shame, and guilt, right? So the institutions that they send them to, hey, go here, they'll make you better, they'll make you feel better. But instead, the whole time, they're saying you're not good enough and you did this and you have labels and you have. And so that's one reason, because especially because of the shame, that people relapse so much. Do you see that?
1,000%. You
Yeah.
nailed it. Think
Mm-hmm.
about this. You're going to meetings where you're saying, "Hi, I'm A." And you're naming
Yeah.
this label that you're trying to heal from, yet you
Yes.
repeatedly feed yourself that message of, "This is who I am.
And
I
that's
am
where the I
less
am
than."
statement comes in. Yes, I am.
Yes.
Fill in the blank. What are you? Because if you continue to identify with that label, then
Yep.
guess what? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And then your whole identity is wrapped around that of,
Yes.
"This is who I am. I better be careful or I could make a mistake. Watch out for
Yes.
me because this is who I am."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's
That's
that
not
experience. That is not who you are.
it.
Right.
Yes.
And you had said it in the systems. This is the problem. They are like re-traumatizing. And
Mm-hmm.
because they're there and the medication is there and all the stuff is there, when you
Yeah.
fail, it's your fault. It's your problem. And the
Yes.
whole, the family dynamics, like the community,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, the masses will rally around you, the problem.
Yep.
Period.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
It,
Completely.
so we just perpetuate again in everything that we do. We perpetuate all those very ugly things that we are supposedly wanting to heal. Right, but just even the verbiage around, it's
Yeah.
not even healing. It's like, you have a problem, go fix you.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. That's right.
or people think like, because it's a me problem, I don't want treatment because I can do
Mm-hmm.
it myself because I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm enough, right? But it's like you intellectualize who you think you need to be.
Yeah.
So the only thing you're actually doing is white knuckling that image.
Yes.
You haven't done anything,
Yes.
right? So God forbid you relapse.
A-
What's wrong
Absolutely.
with you? Oh yeah, you're the addict, you're the this, you're the that. No
Yep.
wonder. Makes sense.
Exactly. And then you hear, well, we tried to help them, but I mean, they, went back to it or they relapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it,
Oh,
and it is so heartbreaking. Go ahead.
this is my favorite. The medication. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
medications that people get put on, like antipsychotic medication.
Yeah.
And then it's so easy for people to say, "Well, those people and they don't like to take their medication." And then they end up getting, they end up this or that and
Yes.
commit suicide or get back on drugs or end up homeless because they don't want to take their
Yes.
medication. It's like, you don't even like taking cold medication. You don't
Right.
even like eating the right foods. You don't even back away from social media, right? There's so many
Yes.
small things that you could be doing, yet you're going to judge somebody else for not wanting to be out of their mind.
Exactly. Because of what the medication does to them. There's a
Yes.
reason. And
Yes.
yes. And I also think that that is another way that our body is saying, we this is not what we're supposed to be consuming. We are not supposed to be putting this in our body because it's making it worse.
Yes. Because it is a we have created that. We have
Yeah.
created that based off, I mean, think about the history of mental health psychology, whatever,
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking, we used to burn people at the stake, for crying out loud.
Yes.
Right, so
Yes.
we haven't really evolved that much from that
Mm-mm.
mentality. we
Mm-hmm.
have handed that mentality down. And a lot of
Yes.
people aren't even aware of what, that pattern, right? What
Right.
they've been dealt with. It's like some people don't even realize why they hate another human being. They just, it's been handed
Exactly.
down. I hate because that's what I learned, that's what I was taught.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's all the same thing. The awareness around it, right? Until you wake
Yes.
up to, like, how do I actually think? You can be saying one thing and doing the complete opposite, and
Oh, yeah.
and and still yelling and trying to prove your point while you're doing the complete opposite. My experience, I would not wish on my worst enemy, but I also know that that was for me to really get to not only go through it, but to witness,
Oh,
have
yes.
witness to how we are really showing up. So again, I know that this is the message that I am meant to relay, that we are the cause and effect to it all.
It seems like that through all of this, the whole time you were still saying, something's not right. This isn't right. This doesn't feel right. This is making me feel worse. I mean, you had the self-awareness was there even though like you didn't have anybody like hearing you or listening, right? Because of the programming and the conditioning, like all the stuff. But was there a profound moment when you were like, okay, I see it completely for what it is? And I mean, was it after you got out of treatment? Was it after like at what point did you say this is my path and I'm like I see everything?
I think there was a couple of different moments, because the first, like, real kind of, I guess, awakening for me
Mm-hmm.
was I had kept trying to do it on my own, and I would
Yeah.
try to get help for the addiction, but then I would have reactions to medications,
Mm.
and then I'd go back on this pain pill thing. And then
Yeah.
even if I told people, like, this is exactly how this started, it's like nobody's hearing it.
Yeah.
So I still don't know where where do I start, because I no matter
Yeah.
where I start, I end up right back in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
So I had kind of given up a little bit, and I had stopped going to the doctor, went
Mm-hmm.
to street drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually, for a few months, I thought I had been saved. I don't have to
Mm.
go through these, like, on the phone specialists, drugstore,
Yeah.
picking up it's like that was my whole existence. So I made it okay. It's like I only have to do a little bit. I can,
Yeah.
because at the time I'm married with children. I have my boutique and I'm doing fashion shows. I'm doing fundraisers. I played co-ed soccer and
Wow.
co-ed softball with my husband. Like, I'm
Listen.
doing it all. I only have to do a little bit, so I'm okay, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like you
Sounds
try
like a
to
good plan.
rationalize. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
try to rationalize, like,
Yeah.
things you just cannot rationalize. So I had this kind of routine where
Mm.
I I would go to the dealers, have enough to do there, and then have enough through the day to the next morning, and then start it kind of all over again. So I was not that kind of drug addict that, like, was passing out. I
Yeah.
was a functional, very functional.
Yes.
So I'm doing my morning routine, and I'm kind of going through it, like, I've done this, I've done that, I've tried this, I've tried that, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a monster, I hate myself,
Mm.
I'm pathetic, I'm so mean to myself.
Yeah.
And I it's pretty much simultaneously, I not paying attention, I say to God, why would you want me to suffer so bad? At the
Mm.
same time, I did all of it, which should have killed an elephant.
Right.
And it came over me. It was like a warmth and a knowing and a vision,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw it all in the interconnectedness and everything. And I was able to, and just a knowing.
Yeah.
And I got up and I walked out. I mean, there was no way. There was no way. So, and I got up and I walked out. And so I knew that I was going to tell on myself. Like, I wasn't going to hold anything back.
Yeah.
And I was going to go to my, now ex-husband,
Mm-hmm.
and just, this is all the stuff that's been going on, what I tried, where I'm at. And so it would still be another day, because I am terrified. I have no idea how I even got to where I'm at. I can't make sense of it. How, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
And when I did, I mean, because he's still like, it's all coming out, and he's asking me questions as if I should have the answer. And I don't. So I'm just saying, whatever he's asking, sure, yeah, you, right, yes, that too,
Mhm.
that too. I'm saying yes to whatever I'm being asked, because I need him to know that I am literally dying. Like, I don't understand why nobody even notices that I've lost 25, 30 pounds.
That's
Like,
what I was gonna say. Like nobody noticed this,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. It's just, it's my health issues and a me issue and
Yeah.
all these other issues, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But even so, I mean, I, what has to happen for
Yeah.
someone, right? Where I'm saying, I am dying. I'm dying. I need help.
Yeah.
And, you know, whip, whip, whip. In fact, this is what happened. He was there with the girls, and he's
Mm-hmm.
telling me to get ready. We have tickets to a basketball, to go to the Kings game. And he's telling me to get up. And I said, I, if I get up, I will die. I don't know
Yeah.
how else to say this. I don't know what else,
Yeah.
I still, I, I don't know what you need to say to somebody.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the beginning of the journey of one, a rehab, a institution, a hospitalization. It was, I thought, I thought I've already been through hell. Thank, thank God I get to tell on myself. Now I'm going to get the help that I need. And it got 10 times worse.
Worse. Yeah. Yeah.
It, the only way, actually, because I was going to say, I don't know how I survived. The only way I survived was like divine intervention. You
Yeah.
just, I mean, more than once, several
Mm-hmm.
times, I mean, because there was even times where I just, I no longer knew who I was to even
Yeah.
know how to ask questions, to advocate, I mean, I was just walking around in bizarro world.
People need to hear this
Yeah,
because there are so many people that are in that boat right there, terrified. It takes so
yeah,
much courage to even be able to go to someone and say, okay, this is where we are. This is where I am right now, and I need help, right?
yeah,
Because again, the labels and the shame on top of what you're telling yourself already.
yeah,
And so there are so many people behind closed doors right now that are struggling with very similar things. And it doesn't have to be drugs or medication. It can be anything.
yeah,
And they feel like there's no hope.
yeah,
And we do live in a society, and we said it before, where don't be vulnerable. And basically it's don't make me feel uncomfortable.
oh, you
You
said it.
know? Mm-hmm.
Yes. that we have to stick to this. This is what a successful life looks like. Anything
Yes.
outside of that is going to be a burden to me and what we've got
Yes.
set up here. So we're not doing that.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's exactly what pushes people to the ultimate limit and extreme. And
That's
you're going
right.
to freaking end up snapping anyway. You know,
Yes.
in one
Yes.
way or another,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot overcompensate
No.
in one area and expect like all of a sudden it's all going to pan out.
Exactly.
It's
That's
just
right.
not.
It's not. Mm-mm. Not at all.
And again, that is the trap that our society has created. We have created that in the hustle culture,
Yes.
in the just a little bit
Yes.
more, just a little bit, more.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We're not designed to sustain that,
no,
even though we are trying like hell. But um, but that is not what it's about. And that's what we've made it, of course. And we do have to learn how to navigate that. But
yeah,
to have these honest, real, raw conversations, that's what's going to make a difference, because it's going to let people know that they don't have to do it alone, and there really is hope out there,
yeah,
and there are answers and there's help,
yeah,
and I think that is so important.
right.
And I thank you for that. The courage that it takes you is huge. But we need more Jessica Summers to tell your story and to help people crawl out of like situations like this. And I mean, and I love it. I love it.
And and I really have to say too, I mean, I understand like how hard it is, and that because of that, that's the messaging that goes on in our head, like there is no hope, there
Yeah.
is no way out, so
Yes.
I better just continue doing this because there is no other option.
There
And
is
that's
no,
the
that's right.
biggest freaking lie ever, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes me emotional. It's like
Mm-hmm.
people are losing their lives like this.
Yeah. Mhm.
And it's, who are these people? They're your mom, your sister, your aunt, your cousin, your daughter, your brother, your nephew.
That's
Right?
right. That's
It's
right.
like I was saying earlier, it's like those people in that neighborhood doing bad things, or that does not exist.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And this is another thing. People are so quick to judge. And we know this, right?
Yeah.
And um but if we if we're judging someone and we're like, we would never do that, we would never act like them, or we would never, this is the thing, if you walked in their shoes, if if you were born in the system that they were born in, whatever it may be, you would have probably made the same decisions that they made. They are doing the best they can with the hand that they were dealt.
Yeah.
And if they can come out of it on the other side and know how powerful they are and how amazing they are,
Yeah.
their purpose is to help the next person that feels the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And that's it too. The, we're actually, when I hear just how simple, it's like, well, I don't know why they're doing that. And people rattle off all these options. It's like, well, don't you think if they
They
had that option, they would take that option?
probably would have taken that. Yes,
It's like, what
exactly.
do you think? Everybody's out to piss you off? It's like,
Yeah, they do.
my favorite is when, and I've heard this more than once about um, so I gave a homeless person some money and they didn't even say thank you. It's like, have you ever
Uh,
wondered like how you're going to sleep, where you're going to sleep,
yeah,
if you're going to eat, if you're going to get beat up that night,
yes,
what's going to happen to you?
exactly,
They're not thinking about saying thank you. They're like thinking about how they're going to save their damn lives.
exactly. And on top of that, they're worried about the judgment that you're already passing to them because you did give them $20 and their dignity was thrown out the window
Yep.
years before,
Yep.
and they're so ashamed that they can't say thank you.
Yep.
Like, the reason, like, the fact that someone said and they didn't say thank you and you're offended is the problem.
Yes. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, we are very good at like kicking people when they are down, which
Yes.
boggles my mind.
Yes.
It's like,
And then we say we're
imagine,
trying to help.
I know. I say it's like, can you imagine getting mad at a family member because they're not doing chemotherapy correctly? You know? It's like,
Exactly.
what are we, who are we getting mad at and why? Like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
None of it makes any sense. And we're not even questioning ourselves about it, which,
No.
and, and then it's everybody else that's the crazy ones.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, of course. Yes. Because if I have to look at myself and do the reflection, then
Yeah.
I may be the problem. Can't have
Right.
that. You know?
Yeah.
The self awareness is pretty much non existent.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where, you know, when we were talking about it earlier too, I mean, that is where the power is. That is where the change is. That's where, like,
Yes.
when we do the individual work and wake up to that, we are the change,
Yes. Yes. That's
period.
right.
So we don't really have to like compete and compare and judge and do all the crap that we do, because
That's right.
that is the old way of being, and you can see
Yeah.
it now. People are actually going, okay, I get this. I'm
Yeah.
seeing through a different lens. I'm taking an accountability and responsibility. I am
Yes.
the creator of my own reality.
No, look, I have shared this multiple times, and I'll just say in short, I remember when I was like, oh, like I am in victim mindset. I have been playing the victim. And yeah, were things happening? Yes, they were. But the whole time I had the power to choose whether I stayed
Yeah.
in that environment. You
Yeah.
know, we can't help what happens to us or what someone does to us, but we can help how we react and what we do with it, right? And so we do have the power. And like you said, we are creating this.
Things aren't happening to us, they're happening for us. It's like
Yes.
that little bit of a switch in your mindset and your
Yes.
perspective of things. I
That's
mean,
right.
that's power, that's empowerment. It's like, let me
Yes.
look at this, let me have the balls to actually look at
Yeah.
this for a second, instead of pointing the finger and judging, going,
Mm-hmm.
okay, with humility and grace, look
Yeah.
at that. That's okay. That's been given to you. That's a gift. Should we look
Yes.
at it that way? Instead
Yes.
of the reaction all the time, like, how am I going to defend myself? How am I,
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I know.
I don't know if you see it too, like how many people are starting to understand it, do the work, get
Yeah.
curious. you know
Yes.
it's
I
pretty
do.
incredible.
It is incredible. I mean, and it is like we are going through like a huge awakening. And I mean, I contribute a lot of that to social media and the people that are on there like wanting to use it for good because we hear a lot of bad about social media, but there's a lot of good to it too, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
it's to bring people together that are
Yeah.
awakening and that are starting to, or they have the accountability and they want to see change and they want to see better for themselves and for others. And they want to help bring people with them. I think that's huge. And
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. People are waking up.
Yeah. Because I mean, I know for myself too, some of the like just the verbiage and some of the things that I know, I wouldn't even have known what to look for. Like it was a
Yes.
non-existent, and now it's just like so like readily available. It's
Yeah.
the this is one thing that I think is a little bit of a trap though,
Mm-hmm.
is when we really don't do the work though, there still is
Mm.
that intellectualizing it. Like, okay, let me read this book and I got this. That's still our old way of being, right? So we can still throw a
Yes.
lot of stuff out there, but you haven't embodied. That's part of it too. You have to acknowledge that you're doing that.
Yeah. And I hear
And that's
people
part of the
say,
process.
absolutely. And I hear people say, I mean, okay, you've read the books and you've watched the podcast and you've done all the stuff. Now put it into motion.
Yeah.
Actually apply it. Actually
Yeah.
do the work and healing. And that is huge
Yeah.
because I do, like you said, I mean, people can stay stuck in that and say, well, I'm doing it because I've read this or I've done that. And they can spit off like all the language and the stuff, but they never applied it. And
Yeah.
that's big. Hmm.
Right. Because that that's where the stepping into, you know, leaning into fear and being uncomfortable,
Yeah.
So it's that's a whole nother ball game. And you
Oh,
start doing the work,
yeah.
it's not some pretty like, oh, it's all going to be laid out for you.
No.
And
It can get
but the
ugly and very uncomfortable.
yeah,
Mm.
but the reward.
Oh, yes. Yes. So do
And
you
this is what I
find?
try to say to other people is, imagine telling yourself like, and coming to the realization that when you do this, you understand that this is more than just about you. When
Yes.
you do that for
Yes.
yourself, you are making such an incredible impact on your
Mm-hmm.
friends, your family, your community, the world at large. You are the change that we've been
Yes.
waiting for. Oh, that just made me so emotional.
Yes.
And that we
You're
are
so
all capable of
right.
that, all of
Yeah,
us.
that's right. And it's really not about us, like you said. I mean, that's where it starts, of course.
Yeah.
But we're all part of the collective. I mean, look at, I love it because look at your journey, right? And where you've been and where you are now. And like never in a million years would you have probably thought that you would be right here and you're able to reach so many people and help so many people, you know? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And when we can put our ego to the side and
Yeah.
not make it about us, and I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, right?
Yeah.
And understand that there's a bigger purpose here and we're all one, we're all
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, here we are, don't even know each other, but have a beautiful connection.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just that's how all of this ripples. And I love
100%.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this is like world changing. Like this is so powerful, so beautiful, so
Yeah.
oh, it makes me seriously so emotional because
Yeah.
I've I mean I've done it, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I've coached other people and watched them when they start seeing themselves.
Yes.
There is nothing more beautiful and rewarding when people start taking a chance on themselves and say, I matter, my voice matters. Like,
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
okay for me to be seen and to have, so many things. It's like, woohoo, exactly.
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
I just know how uncomfortable and how
Yeah.
not easy that is to do. So it just pumps me up to, I mean, it just doesn't get
Yeah.
any better.
How do people start? Where do you tell them to start? Because it's small steps, especially in the beginning, right?
And that's it. Baby
Yeah.
steps
Mm-hmm.
compound to moving mountains. It's just that
Yeah.
that
Mm.
like that initial like surrender,
Yeah.
and I'm going to take a chance on myself. I don't know what that
Mm.
looks like, and that's okay. I don't have to figure it out, but I'm going to start my base. And
That's
my
right.
framework and what I teach is peace is your base,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
once you have peace and you know who you are and you can stand in that, then comes your power. Then it goes
Yeah.
into your purpose, right? And it's the past, the present, and the future. Once we start
Yes.
releasing, we that the peace being the foundation is getting rid of the past that is holding us back from the
Mm.
present and the future. All right. So when
Yes.
every time anything comes up, if it's coming up, it's something from the past that needs to be healed. And it's okay to
Yeah.
look at that, because if it doesn't feel good, it's not for you. It's holding you back.
That's
You don't need
right.
it. Right.
Yes.
And there's so many, like, I bring up like scripture in different
Mm-hmm.
Bibles, different religions,
Yeah.
because for an example, that no matter what, if we could just base it on some like basic love and compassion for ourselves and
Yeah.
for others, we're not even arguing about that anymore, right? we
That's
don't
right.
have to we don't have to argue about religion. We don't have to argue about anything
Mm-mm.
other than, I'm going to believe this is true because I believe in something bigger, right?
Yes. Yes.
And if you know
Yes.
that, and feed yourself and know that everything is always working out for you all of the time, like, and that you are a precious gift from God, no matter who you think God is, right? Like, that
Yes.
starts laying an incredible foundation
Yeah.
that you can't freaking rock. Because once you stand in your power, and
Mm.
peace is your power, imagine the
Mm-hmm.
shit that you get done.
Mm. Yes.
Because you're like,
Yes.
I dare you. Like, I let go of the very things that the world tells me is shameful, is to be feared, is guilt. And I'm dropping those
Yes.
bags off at the door,
Yes.
and I am surrendering, I'm releasing, and I let go.
Mm-hmm.
And I could go on all day long about how much proof do you need, because we do it, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of, like, I swear by thought dumping, because we don't even know what we're thinking about until we know what we're thinking about. So
Yeah.
how can we change it until we know what it is? And thought
Yes.
dumping, you start to see like the negative, like,
Mm.
self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
When you flip it, you
Mm-hmm.
start flipping that and feeding yourself the opposite of what you've been telling yourself, right?
Yes.
Because,
Exactly.
and how do I know it's true? Because you learned the very thing that's hurting you. So wouldn't it be
Yeah.
true that it's okay to let that go, to start feeling some love and some joy and some happiness in your life?
That's
Then
right.
that is your truth. That's your foundation to everything.
Isn't it interesting how we have to give ourselves permission to have peace or feel good emotions because we don't think that we're worthy or we're deserving of that because of conditioning, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And you brought up a point. You said when you're working with clients, if something comes up from the past or trauma and it doesn't feel good, obviously that needs to be looked at. But you said if it doesn't feel good, that's not for you. And I think it's very important to for people to understand the naysayers or the haters or whoever may be passing judgment because people are going to do it, right? And
Yeah.
again, that's not a reflection of you, that's a reflection of them and what's on the inside of them, right? People's judgments are, it's a mirror.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that those people, they're they're not their people. They're
Right.
not for them,
Right.
right?
Right.
And they're not coming home with you every day. They're not paying your bills, or some might be in your home. I don't know. But regardless, if someone's not behind you, cheering you on and coaching, and they're not your biggest cheerleader, then they have some things to resolve and heal on their own, but
Yeah.
those aren't your people.
Right.
So, because we get so caught up, rightfully so, in what other people's opinions are.
Yeah.
We will not pursue our life purpose or our passion because we're too scared of what other people think.
Yeah.
What is that? You know?
Right.
How do
Yeah.
you help people with that?
Well, and so think about that. That is everything in our behaviors, everything that we're doing, it's all learned and taught, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
everything that you've learned has brought you to here, right? So there's
Yes.
so much. So if we're running off our program and our conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we don't even know how we got where we're at,
I
right?
know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
isn't it fair that we start looking at that and go, why do I even think this way? Why am I behaving this way? Why do
Yeah.
I like all of it? Because once you start looking at that, then you have the awareness of like, oh, actually, that isn't even mine. I picked that
Yes.
up from somebody else's opinion. I picked
That's
that up
right.
at school. I picked that up wherever or whatever it was. And our
Yes.
body is signaling to us constantly, whether it's like
Mm.
a depression or an anxiety or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, it's saying, woohoo, let's look at this and get rid of it. Because
Yes.
if we're still holding on to that, then it's holding you back from moving forward.
That's
And
right.
that's not for you. You cannot move forward if you're holding on to something, people, places, things, thought, whatever it is,
Yes.
that's holding you back, right?
That's
I
right.
love that
Yeah.
imagery of the like the door. You're trying to get through the door, but you're trying to pull something with you, and it's like every
Mm.
time you pull that with you, the door shuts.
Mm.
So it's like
Yes.
leave that bag so you can walk
Yes.
through that door. It's the same thing. It's like our future. And our
Yeah.
future higher self is the healed version of self that has the awareness of that's not
That's
even
right.
mine. That's somebody else's
Yes.
opinion. That's generational. That's what I heard
Mm-hmm.
growing up. That's what I needed to survive, but I'm no longer surviving. I don't need any of that.
Yes. That's right. That's right. And our emotions, they're our inner compass. So don't shame yourself for feeling anxiety or feeling anger or fear.
Right.
That's your body telling you something is off. You might not know what it is right now, but
Right.
it's there for us to unpack. Don't shame yourself for feeling that. And don't
Right.
try to hide it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Mhm.
Because that's just going to fester up in one way or another. It's
Yes.
your physical, your mental would become physical, your physical becomes mental. Like one
Yeah.
way or another, your person is going to say, we've got to look at this.
Yeah.
So to release it, to let go of it, to
Yes.
transmute it, because the more you push it down, the more you just try to pretend that something isn't there. But we
That's
only do
right.
that because we've been guilted and shamed, so we don't want to look at that. If I look at that, then
Yeah.
I have to look at something in myself that I've been conditioned to believe is not okay.
Exactly.
What kind
Yes.
of twisted,
I
right?
know.
And so
Yes.
no wonder we all feel this way. No
Yeah.
wonder,
Exactly.
you know? It's a bunch
And
of
do you
mixed up messages.
And I feel like we have an endless amount of distractions, like our phones and our Netflix series and all the stuff. Do you find people, obviously, I would think, like using those more so they don't have to actually deal with what's going on inside?
Yeah, because that
Mm-hmm.
has become our new acceptable norm. Those are our
Yes.
go-to. So it can't be that
Yes.
big of a deal because we're all doing it. That's just what we do, right?
Yes.
It's just
So we
like that.
rationalize it.
Yeah, exactly. So you really have to like baby step weaning yourself
Mm.
off of those and replacing it with a new behavior, right? Because
Yeah.
it's another addiction. It's another I'm feeding this to, for whatever unmet need. This is
Yep.
fulfilling, that filling this space,
Yes.
right? And again, it's like we really have to take accountability and be honest with ourselves like what am I using to fill the void, to pretend that something isn't there, or to like look away because it's not that bad, but that's all of
Exactly.
that's learned. And and it's again, it's like
Yeah.
we have to make a choice for ourselves, like what is normal and rational, because there's actually nothing normal and rational about anything that we do.
No, I know. There's nothing.
It's just what
Exactly.
we've said is okay because we base it off judging someone else's bad behavior.
Yes.
It's not that bad. You could be doing that, right? So it's like,
Yes.
why do I even need to look at this? I didn't kill anybody.
Exactly. And in all actuality, it's all the same thing.
Yep.
Like, I mean, if you're saying, oh, well, what I do is not that bad compared to what they've done, or at least it's not this. Actually, you're doing the same thing, just in
Yep.
a different form.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And if we could look at it in this way, that it's a gift because we
Yes.
can all acknowledge that we've all been given our trials, we've all been given our journey, we've all been given
Yeah.
our learning lessons, whatever it is. So
Yes.
it's okay to look at that because that's the secret sauce. That's for
Yes.
you to look at.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason you haven't done it is because you've been taught to believe that this is how to live
Yeah.
life, this is how to do you. How's that working out for
Exactly.
you?
Not very well. Mm-hmm. Keeping my head in
Right?
the sand the whole time.
Right? And that's all of
Yeah.
us
Yes.
until it's not.
Until it's not. That's right. So you've mentioned going back to the basics.
Mm.
What are the basics?
When I think about that too, and it's like, what are basics? Because they're,
Yeah.
it's like what you would think would be common sense isn't common sense. I mean, kind of what we were talking about before. It's like what is normal isn't normal. It's just what we said
Yeah.
was normal so we could survive, and so
Yes.
many things. But think about just the basics of human like decency
Yeah.
and respect and dignity, like just a the golden rule.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
Yes. Yes.
why why would you treat that person that way? Can you imagine if somebody did that to you?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't imagine what it's like to fight for your life. So how could
Hmm.
you call them out on their behavior? How should somebody
Exactly.
behave when they're screaming at for help? They're begging for
Yes.
help and you're holding them down because their behavior makes you
You
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's bring it down a notch and admit to the fact we, the people, have
Yeah.
created the shit show. So
Yes, we have.
we, it is actually absurd to judge another human being.
Yeah.
It really is. You can't. And the only way we're going to get better
Mm-hmm.
is an open, honest dialogue. You don't have to have it figured out. You just
Mm-mm.
have to be okay with having the conversation, not with somebody belittling you and holding you down or like calling you out, but saying,
Yeah.
hey, let's do this together. Like we're meeting
Yes.
eye to eye. I'm not up here, you're not down there. That doesn't exist.
Mm-mm.
You don't matter more than I do, and I don't matter more than you do. You matter
Exactly.
just as much. Like we are all an intricate piece of the puzzle, right?
Yes.
Until we have that awareness, like we still do this, you're up here, this, you know,
Hierarchy. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that's actually, if you think about it, that is a structure that is impossible to uphold. That is a system that is breaking, falling apart, no matter what it is, because it's not
Yes.
sustainable. You cannot sustain that because that means you are taking away from other people that have a role to play in this life that are unable to do it because of somebody else's opinion, because of somebody else saying, this is who you are, this is where you stay, this is how you behave, this is the kind of money
Yes.
you'll make, you're not going to get out of this,
Yes.
that's the neighborhood you live in. When
Yes.
that's not up to anybody to tell or say.
No. Mm.
We all
I
find our
love
way and
it.
end up where we're meant to be in the
Yes.
flow of life, not by holding each other down or back.
That's right. Mm.
So, but
That's
that's
powerful.
ego, a lot of ego work, you know. But the ego doesn't even
You
matter.
think?
You know, it's like when we release that, when we can kill that
Yes.
monster off,
Yes.
we all do so much better
I
because
know.
it doesn't matter.
Wow. I think I've had the chills the whole time you've told. This whole time. It's
Awesome. That's a
so
great
powerful.
conversation when we get chills. I don't know how many times I teared
Yes.
up. I mean, this
I
is the
know.
stuff, right? This is when,
Yes.
and it
And
needs to.
it's really not hard. I mean, we make it hard. Yes. And again, that's ego and little to no self-awareness, which again, I mean, our brain's going to try to keep us where we're comfortable.
Yeah,
All this stuff,
yeah,
right? And the
yeah,
more we feed the ego in a negative way, and I mean, we're that's how we're talking about ego right now. But it's just these systems, and you've said it several times in this conversation. They're crumbling, and they absolutely are. I can't help but say I actually love to see that happening. It's so freeing,
yeah.
and more people are finding peace, and more people are able to let go of the fear of judgment from others that don't even matter.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, my very, very small corner in all of this, I can remember when I was terrified of, like, I've never been a social media person, right? And getting
Yeah.
on here and saying some of the opinions that I have or some of the things that I feel like that I've debunked just through research or
Yeah.
just through watching people getting treated badly. I was terrified. And
Yeah. Me
yes,
too.
yes. And I remember the first video that was, just I knew that it was going to ruffle feathers. 2 weeks I walked around with like crippling anxiety and I felt like I was going to throw up. And I mean, and then finally, like just meditating and all this stuff, like trying to just control these emotions because I'd always been a people pleaser,
Yeah.
like many of us condition, worried about what other people were going to think. And I was like, what does it matter if we're all trying to come together and help
Yeah.
and bring awareness? It's okay if somebody doesn't agree or if they have something to say. That is one thing. There are several things, but that is one thing that I wish that people could just, that grip could at least loosen on their life is the fear of judgment from others. Because it really doesn't matter if you have good intentions
Yeah.
and if you're
Yeah.
trying to do the right thing, right?
Right. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
think about it too. It's in some of us that is like so ingrained, you know, at such a
Yeah.
young age, and you didn't even
Yes.
know where it all came from, you know. I
Oh, I
mean,
know.
imagine your nervous system, because you were around a lot of yelling or name calling, or and you're like, eat,
Yeah.
eat, eat. So you get triggered all of the damn time and you don't even know why.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
how the hell are you supposed to respond to normal? Right? Well, we
That's
don't know
right.
what
Whatever
that
that
is.
is.
And
Yeah.
then if somebody's opinion, it's like, well, I'm triggered. I feel like this. You must be right because that's how I felt then. And that's when that bad stuff was going on. And that
Yes.
was my fault. And right. It's like we start,
Mm-hmm.
we twist all of that up. I mean, we all make up our story based on our experiences, whether they were right or wrong or real. It was,
Yes.
it happened
Mm-hmm.
and it made an imprint.
That's right. That's
And
right.
if we could just have the make that okay for ourselves, like,
Yeah.
okay, my normal wasn't so normal growing up. I heard a lot of things. I went through a lot of things. Things happened to me without my consent, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so many
Yes.
major things
Yes.
happened. So it's okay for me to examine. It's okay to look at
That's
these
right.
things. It's not my fault.
Yes.
It's not my fault.
Yes.
I didn't ask for all of those things to happen.
That's right.
Because we can
That's
take
right.
accountability and responsibility for our lives without blaming ourselves, because it works all both ways, right? I forgive
Yes.
myself and that I forgive you, and vice versa, and we start to untangle ourselves in it,
Yeah.
right? And then
That's
we just
right.
keep doing a little bit better, a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
not holding ourselves down with that low vibe like guilt, shame, to the death.
Yes. That's right.
I mean, learned, all learned.
Yeah. And just because something may scare you doesn't mean that it's wrong. Like that just may be your nervous system
Yeah, yeah.
freaking out because you're stepping outside of what you've always known, your comfort zone, right? And that
Yes.
fear may be just a trauma response at the time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that it's wrong and it doesn't mean that you need to stop. It means it's telling you to keep going and to fight through
Mm.
that and learn where it's coming from or yeah, I mean figure out where it's coming from and resolve that. Yeah.
Oh, it's powerful stuff. I mean, that's when I think to one of the, huge reason why I kept getting in my own way. It's like I didn't even know what self love was,
Yes.
right? So, how could I love myself enough to actually think and believe and
Mm,
do any of these things? No
that's
way.
right.
No way. I had to learn what that is and then actually be able to give it to myself to receive it.
Yeah.
That was very difficult. I had
Yes.
never known that. It's like I mean anything totally foreign, right? It's like this is
Yes.
weird, this is uncomfortable. I don't know what this is. Are you sure
Yeah.
this is okay? This
Yeah.
is weird.
And
you know?
and self-worth. That was one of my big
Yeah.
things. Like I didn't feel worthy.
Yeah.
Uh, yes. And I bet
And
you figured out you were a pretty cool person, didn't you?
it took me a long time, because
Yeah.
all the messaging I was getting, I mean, I was
Yeah.
being told like who I was to the core. And it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God. Ugh.
Oh no.
Wow. Ouch. I am the
Yes.
worst person on the planet. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, digging my way out of that, whoo wee,
Yeah.
that was not an easy feat because
No.
yeah, no self-love, no worth, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, the only reason I think I got up was because I had kids. I think it would have been a different
Mm.
story if it was just me. I,
Yes.
right, because I had to start doing it to then start showing up for myself,
Mm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, I mean, I can't, I shouldn't make assumptions like that. But as far down as I was,
Yeah.
That's why I want to, say that I don't know if I would have just had that enough just for myself.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
how,
I see that.
yeah, that's how down.
That's huge.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so having said that, I should be the poster child for, I don't care what you've done, where you've been, who you think you are, how
Yeah.
much you think you lack. Look at me. If I've come out of the bottomless pit of hell, worst person on the planet,
Yeah.
and can actually see and find my own self worth, this is for you too.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
stop listening to that. Because if somebody's yapping in your ear, telling you who you are, what's wrong with you, how to fix you, like you said earlier, those are not your people. And doesn't matter where it's coming from. Start backing up.
You start the baby steps and you start finding just a little bit of self love and self worth. It's like, okay, maybe I'm not that bad. Or maybe, this is the reason, like, I reacted the way I did. Or your people will start showing up. Because again, we attract what we are. Those people start just showing up in our lives, and it's amazing how that happens.
Yes.
It's the
Yes.
coolest thing to watch. And once you start noticing it, you're like, oh, I see what's happening now.
Yeah.
It's working. Yeah.
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
then that just opens up the whole, like,
Oh,
limitless. I mean, we are expansion. We are limitless. We are all
yes.
of it, and it is all readily available to us as soon as we take the lid off. And
Yes.
that's
That's right.
all that learned stuff. So when you
That's
start
right.
letting all of that go, you're like, "Oh, what? Like
I,
infinite possibility?
wait,
What?"
what? Yes.
How fun and exciting is that?
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
is. Yes. I remember the first time I heard that, and I was like, but not for me. Or,
Mm.
just
Yep.
there's no way in the beginning, like I could see that.
Yeah.
But now you actually do see that there are infinite possibilities. And I mean, they're endless. And it's whatever you can imagine. You can achieve it. It's
Yeah.
so exciting,
It
yes. And
is. It
everybody
is.
has that. That's right.
Yeah.
If you had to leave everybody with one thing, one thought, one word of advice, what would it be?
Start. Start with starting now. Just with it, you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about the
Mm-hmm.
how. Whew. You just have to trust and
Yeah.
believe with all of your heart and make that one step. What is that one in wherever you are in the moment? What is that one little step outside of your norm that is going to start getting you to go to the next step and the next? Because when we do that, we're sending it out.
Jessica, this conversation has been so powerful and so amazing. And I don't think there are words to describe like the way that I have felt this whole conversation. And I want to thank you so much for that. As we close this conversation, I want to leave you with the reminder that we don't have to dehumanize one another to have an honest conversation. That curiosity can soften places where certainty once hardened us, and that staying human is often the bravest choice we can make. So, thank you to Jessica for this thoughtful conversation, and thank you for being here and listening. And remember, you are not alone on this journey, and you're exactly where you're meant to be. See you next time.